Can I tell you a secret? Over the past 5 years, I've helped hundreds of dumpies navigate their breakups, whether they wanted to move on or get their ex back. But almost all of them fell for the same ex back lies, and worse, they overlooked a critical mistake their ex made, one that would cause massive regrets. So what is this mistake? Stick around because I'm about to expose the biggest lies about breakups and getting your ex back. Plus, I will reveal how regret can completely shift your ex's mindset and give you the tools to handle your breakup like a pro, boost your attractiveness, and if reconciliation is possible, maximize your chances. Let's address the first whopper on the list. There is no getting your ex back. Stick with me because understanding this is actually the best way to improve the chances of getting your ex back. I will bet my mortgage on that most of you have typed into YouTube, how to get my ex back. That's okay, it was the first thing I typed in when I was dumped too. We are hit in the face with step-by-step guides on how to manifest, whatever the fuck that means. Titles like Getting Your Ex Back is Simple, or my personal favourites, Your Ex Will Come Back 100% if you do this. I mean, fuck off. They all have one thing in common, using systems and procedures to outlogic your ex's feelings. Trying to convince someone to stay or to come back when they've already decided to leave is an exercise in futility. Handwritten letters, 30-day no contact programs that supposedly change their brain chemistry into forgetting how you pissed them off, and text your ex back programs aren't going to do shit. Why? Because when their actions say, I don't want to be around you right now, that is not code for you to try harder. Reaching out for anything other than business like picking up the kids or settling bills will only push your ex further away and royally piss them off even more than they already are. Definitely not the right way to rebuild attraction. But we have to go one level deeper here so we can act accordingly. And shall we say, improve our packaging? When we perceive something as good, we typically give it a try. Just like when we see a random ad on Instagram, it provokes a feeling and suddenly we are entering our bank details. Thanks, overly priced novelty t-shirts that I bought 2 of last week because the Instagram ad made me feel all fuzzy inside. Somewhere, somehow, your ex's emotional attraction for you dropped below 50%, which pulled the trigger in their head to dump you. This didn't just happen overnight. Like the battery in your iPhone, their emotional bank account is a finite resource, and if it's not recharged, it drains over time. Emotionally draining behaviors like neediness, insecurity, possessiveness, complacency, codependency, listening just to respond instead of understanding, and defensiveness all chip away at that emotional bank account over years, and if the account becomes overdrawn, that's when the dumper decides to leave. So the most powerful thing you can do, and something all my one-to-one clients have used to great effect, is to take everything your ex said was wrong with the relationship and fix your 50% of it. In other words, focus on getting you back and improving your packaging, just like how the Instagram ad got me to buy 2 t-shirts. It was all in the packaging. But how the fuck do you do that? Well, I'm glad you've asked. Think about why your ex started dating you in the first place. Think back to the time just before you met your ex. Who were you? Were you the type of person who travelled? Did you keep yourself in shape and live a healthy lifestyle? Did you have hobbies? Were you the type of person who visited friends and family often? What about you did you abandon and why when you were with your ex? Write it all down. And when you have that list, go be that list, because that's who your ex fell for. And hey, it doesn't hurt to expand that list and do some things that scare you. I climbed mountains, travelled alone, and went to music school. My client Amanda joined the military in her mid-30s. My client Saggy started making and releasing his own music on Spotify. My client Jen lost 50 pounds and became a long-distance runner. My client Patrick went back to school and got his PhD. Fucking A. So if your ex does come back, it's because you respected their wishes, gave them what they wanted, the breakup, listened to their feedback, fixed what you got wrong, and rediscovered the person your ex fell in love with. But most importantly, they came to the decision on their own without any external begging from you. What's not to like about that? And if they don't come back, who gives a fuck? Your future partner gets to have this new super duper version of you. And this brings us to the next big lie, one that will make your dumper massively regret their decision, if you play it right. More on the regret in a second, but first let's talk about why staying friends with your ex is pure emotional self-harm. Here's the thing. Their actions have already made one thing clear. They don't want to be with you at this moment. And if they're the ones offering friendship, it's not because they care, it's because they're using you to get over you. Seriously, you can't fucking win. I learnt this the hard way. The one time I stayed friends with an ex right after a breakup, I spent 6 months running around like a lovesick puppy, letting her use me as the emotional tampon while she lined up her new boyfriend. And the first time I saw them together, it felt like the whole world was pointing and laughing at me for being such a fool. And I'm not the only one. Many of my one-to-one clients have told me the same thing on our very first call. They stayed friends with their ex hoping for a second chance, only to find out they were just a backup option until the dumper secured someone new. Brutal. So how do we fix this? Another great question. You're a smart bunch today. I'm not saying you can never be friends with your ex, but you can't do it right now because it's too fucking raw. I have only remained friends with 2 of my exes, and guess what? It took years before we could be around each other without anger and some kind of sexual weirdness. So here's exactly what you say to your ex if they keep reaching out, offering to be friends. Being friends with you right now after our romantic relationship has ended isn't going to work for me. I don't just want another friend, I want a romantic partner. Just being friends with you cannot fulfill that desire, so right now, I cannot be your friend. We have too much history and chemistry to just be friends, so I must ask that you do not contact me unless you want to reconcile. So what will all this achieve and why will your ex regret it? Firstly, you are setting a boundary. Nothing is more attractive than someone who knows their worth and enforces it. Saying, this is the line and you do not fucking cross it, changes the power dynamic immediately. Secondly, you've left the door open, but only on your terms. If your ex wants in, they'll have to come back on your conditions. This shifts you from the desperate dumpy to the one in control. And finally, you're giving them exactly what they've asked for, the breakup. But here's the kicker. Your ex wanted to leave you, not lose you. They wanted the comfort of having you around while still moving on. But when you refuse to be their emotional crutch, they have to actually feel the breakup. And that's when the regret sets in. They may not come back, but they will certainly have a newfound respect for you, shifting their mindset from my ex is super needy and irritating to my ex is mature and respected me enough to walk away. That, my friends, is the sexy shit right there. But always keep this next part in mind. Never be the go-to person for the person you cannot go to. So for the final whopper of a lie, many people think that stalking their exes on social media isn't breaking no contact. My friends, I have news for you. Every time you tap onto their profile, every time you look at their pictures, every time you view their stories, you are doing 2 things. You are in fact breaking no contact and adding months to your healing time. Also, you are validating your ex with little hits of dopamine every time they see your name pop up. Here's the thing. No contact means no contact. Not even digital peaks. When you check their social media, you are keeping the wound fresh, making it harder to move on. It's like ripping off a scab before it heals, but it gets worse. Your ex sees that you're still watching, and guess what? It boosts their ego. They get to move on knowing you're still hung up on them. You're giving them the validation they secretly crave, making it easier for them to let go while you stay stuck. So do yourself a favor. Stop stalking their social media. Unfollow, mute, block, whatever it takes. Out of sight, out of mind. Focus on your healing, not on what they're posting. Remember, true no contact is about creating space for yourself to heal and regain your strength. Don't let their online presence keep you chained to the past. By cutting off all avenues of contact, including social media, you reclaim your power and set the stage for genuine recovery and a renewed desire from your ex. But the thing is, how do you do no contact correctly? How does that get your ex back in the right way? Or how do you move on healthily without getting caught up in the bullshit information that is out there? The video appearing on your screen now will explain exactly how to do that quickly and healthily. And if that's not enough, check out the links in the description below for additional resources like my one-to-one coaching services or my breakup recovery book. My name is Nick. This has been The Love Fix. You are enough. It's going to be okay, and I'll see you on the other side.